Okay, I think we can get started. And so hello, everyone. It's nice to see all of your faces. I'm trying to, I have you all here on my screen. I am Marissa McCasty. I'm the Leadership Development Manager for the SUNY SAIL Institute. Many of you have received emails from me, so it's nice to actually see you on screen here. We have a great program for you, and we are going to start off with a welcome from our executive director, Jason Lane. And then we are going to do some introductions as well. I see some folks, Carolyn and Martha, who will introduce themselves. And then we will go around to each of you and have you say your name, pronouns, and I didn't say my pronouns. So my pronouns are she, her, hers. And you would also say your campus, your major, and your favorite food, beverage. Either or, you can pick, because there's a lot of things that are delicious. Okay. And then we're going to do an overview, just a quick overview of SAIL for those of you that haven't heard of us before. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what the Student Leadership Academy is and what to expect during this fall semester. And at any point, feel free to put your questions in the chat, and we can address those as they come in. Okay, let's see here. So do we have Jason with us?
I am here.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so I guess I will turn it over to you. And so Jason Lane, Dr. Jason Lane is the Executive Director of the SUNY SAIL Institute. He also serves as the Dean of the School of Education at the University at Albany.
So I am thrilled, really thrilled to be with you today. I'm so excited by this initiative, and my deep thanks to Marissa and Carolyn and Joyce and Martha, and I'm sure I missed others who put a lot of time and effort into making this a reality. But it is one of the things that we've been working on for a number of years to try to provide, and we have provide system-wide leadership opportunities for students across the SUNY system. As Marissa said, I'm Jason Lane, and I have the great privilege of being Executive Director of SAIL, which we founded 4 years ago as a system-wide leadership think tank, and we work with faculty and staff and presidents. But I think at the core is about students and making sure that we are supporting our students in their leadership journeys. And part of it goes back to my own leadership journey. I'll go back here to the introductions. My undergraduate major was political science. I have a master's degree in poli-sci from Penn State and went on to get a PhD in higher education. But the reality is I was a student body president for a couple of years as an undergraduate. And I like to say that my real undergraduate was student leadership. I spent a lot of time doing student leadership activities. I loved being a leader within the higher education, so much so that I didn't want to grow up and leave. I've just stayed in higher ed and continued to work in it and have been fortunate to find a career path in that way. And so I'm thrilled that each and every one of you applied for this program, accepted your invite to be part of this program. And what is really exciting about it is it's one of the few opportunities you have to connect with student leaders across the SUNY system and outside of your own campus. I know we've got a couple of Great Danes here from UAlbany, and I'm excited they can meet folks from Rockland and from Buffalo and from Potsdam, and to really begin to network and build your relationships across the SUNY system, because we have amazing students at every single one of our campuses. And so that's one of the real highlights, I think, of this program, is being able to connect with your SUNY colleagues across all of New York State. And so it's a busy semester. It is an unprecedented semester. You all are grappling with an incredible amount of change right now as we work through remote learning and reduced learning. And I'm teaching a freshman seminar where I have 18 students who are in a classroom that would traditionally hold 120. It's a very weird experience. right now to be in these new arrangements. I showed up the first day of classes. Normally parking lots are full and people are circling trying to find a spot. And this year there was like 20 cars in the parking lot. It was a very weird and surreal experience for me. And I've been doing this now for more than 2 decades. But it's, as leaders, we have to continue to move forward. We have to face the challenges that are confronting us. We have to find ways to keep our folks moving forward, our teams advancing and doing great work. And I think this institute's a great example of it. The idea was for this to be in person, to bring people together, to really have a chance to interact. And COVID threw us a curveball, and Marissa and her team took that curveball and ran with it and said, we're still going to do it. We're going to make it happen. We're going to have a fantastic experience for our students to come together in this sort of way. So thrilled that you're here. I will be popping in and out throughout your time together. But I just want to say that congratulations on being accepted into this program. It speaks highly of you. You were nominated by your campuses. Only 2 per campus were selected to be in this program. It's one we wanted to make sure that we had folks who were really committed to their leadership journey, no matter where leadership takes you, whether it's staying like me in higher education, going out and running a Fortune 500 company, or being a political leader, because we know we need great political leaders right now in our country. So thank you for making the commitment to be here. I'm thrilled by the opportunity to at least welcome you to this session and look forward to getting to know you all along the way. So Marissa, I hope I did my job. One of the things leaders know to do is how to take their cues from the people who know what's going on. So I'm going to toss it back to Marissa now, and she'll let me know if I need to say anything else, but welcome. And good luck in the program.
Thank you so much. That was great. Thank you. And so we will continue with introductions. Carolyn, if you want to introduce yourself.
Sure, thank you. So thank you, Jason. Thank you, Marissa. It's wonderful to see Martha, who's been designing this program with us all along the way over the past 6 months or so. And of course, with COVID, things have changed. So that means a lot more planning and replanning and communicating with one another. So it's great to see this day finally come, where we have all of you that we can welcome and be able to meet in person. So even though it's virtually, it feels like it's in person, right? This is our new reality. So welcome to all of you. I'm Carolyn Matisky, Director of the SAIL Institute and Organizational Development for SUNY System Administration. And Jason and I have worked together for those 3.5 years, offering more and more programming for people all across the SUNY system. And it's been really fantastic being able to welcome all the folks that make SUNY what it is. And so we love that we can offer these programs directly to students. And so my work is more geared towards the administrative leaders and faculty that are part of the SUNY system, but Marissa leads up the student programming, and I'm just happy to help her along the way and be a part of this in some small way. She wanted me to mention to you all the importance of time management. And so I know you all are making this commitment to yourselves to advance and see what leadership is all about and see if it's something that you might want to pursue. And so I think she asked me because I'm a busy working mom. So you may have seen my first grader in and out here. And so, this is time management and a real litmus test to see, if I can handle all of this. And I say that because all of you have your own unique circumstances, and we know that you're all very, very busy. And so leadership, I think you're going to start to see is also about empathy. And realizing that everybody has their own unique circumstances. And if we can be patient with one another, recognizing all of those demands on your time, we'll be better served. And so, yes, time management is important. You're committing to an extra bit of work to do for yourselves. And I can tell you that it will be worth it. And so just prioritize yourself. And that means this program. And it also means carving out a little bit of time for you to restore yourself. And so whatever that means, is it reading a book or is it going for a walk every day? But whatever that is that refuels you and keeps you going is really important. So please add that into your time management as well. And so hopefully I did my job, Marissa, and I just welcome all of you and I thank you for being here.
Thank you, Carolyn. And I did want to have Joyce introduce herself, and then we will introduce some other folks.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Joyce Akimola. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I'm currently the graduate student assistant for SUNY SAIL and for the SUNY Student Leadership Academy, but I will also be participating with this cohort, so I will be here with you. And that's it.
And Joyce has put in a lot of work to also, make this academy a great one for you all. So thank you, Joyce. And then we'll turn it over to Martha.
Well, thank you, Marissa. So I just want to thank you, Marissa and Carolyn and Jason Lane. You have all done a fabulous job. SUNY SAIL, to be a part of this whole institute is a wonderful opportunity for all the students that are here today. The 21st century is calling for very unique, strong leaders. And so we are excited to be instilling upon you the confidence, the leadership abilities to go forth and to make great things happen in the future for the world around us. So we put a lot of weight on your shoulders, but you're going through an amazing training program that I think is going to bless you with the ability to go on and make great things happen. So congratulations on being accepted into this dynamic program. And a big shout out to our two UAlbany Great Danes that are in this program too, both Dale and Shayna. We're glad that you're here, everybody. So thank you, Marissa. And you wanted to hear about, nobody has given you their, either their beverage or food of choice. So I'm gonna give a shout out. So what I'm dying for right now is Cafe Leche. I have, this is my first summer not teaching in the UAlbany and Madrid campus. We do 2 weeks out there. I'm missing it. One of my favorite beverages from Spain is their Cafe Leche. So that's my favorite beverage for right now.
Wonderful. That sounds delicious, definitely. And
coffee.
Let's see.
Sorry,
Oh,
I'll
coffee.
just add mine. Coffee.
And let's see here, Candy. I know we'll be hearing from Candy in a bit, a little bit later, but if you could introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. Candy Griffin-Jenkins here, coming from SUNY System Administration. I am so thrilled to be here, to see all your faces. I'm a crybaby, and I'm trying not to get emotional because I know how hard it was for you to get where you are, right? So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about myself, share some of my energy and some of my own personal journey with you a little later. So I'll hold on most of that. But what I will share though is I am a proud UA alum, UA all day, yay. And I would say that my favorite food, my family's Puerto Rican, and so my favorite food is arroz con gandules. I can eat rice and beans, pigeon peas specifically, all day and be good. So that's my favorite. Thank you for having me here today.
Thank you, Candy. And let's see, I believe that we have all of our speakers. They introduced themselves. So I am going to reshare my screen. Okay, everybody can see that. So what I was thinking of doing, and I know we have until 12:45, but what I was thinking of doing is to go by campus, and we'll switch it up. Every seminar will be different. We'll start, but we'll start at the beginning this seminar. So Alfred State, I don't know if you're in the house, but Deborah and Dylan. I know that, let's see here. I think they were having some connectivity issues. So they will join us shortly, hopefully. All right, Buffalo State, Imani and Talia.
Howdy.
Hello.
Hello. Do you want to go first, Amani? Or I can go first. It doesn't matter.
You can go first.
Okay. My name's Talia Peeler. Last name Peeler, like the potato peeler. I prefer the pronouns she, her. I go to Buff State, as you know. My major is currently undeclared, but I'm declaring it for political science. That's what I want to do. And I will have to say my favorite beverage is coffee. I just, for the first time ever, tried a pumpkin spice latte, and I'm a fan. I'm in.
I agree with that. Pumpkin is delicious.
All right, so my name's Imani Ibrahim. I also go to Buffalo State. My pronouns are she, her. My major is marine biology, so or like marine aquatic biology. And my favorite food is ice cream. I love ice cream.
And a specific flavor of ice cream? Just all of it?
I changed it up a little bit. It kind of depends on like where I go and like what interesting flavors they have.
Fair enough. Well, thank you. And Columbia Green Community College, Naomi. Oh, I think you are muted. No. We could also, there we go. We can, I think it's working now, unless that was, nope. Okay. Maybe, there we go. Is that, oh, it's a little bit messed up with the sound. So maybe if you just say hello and then put, those things in the chat, we can do it like that. Okay. But welcome. And Cornell.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ren. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I go to Cornell. My favorite beverage, probably boba tea. There's a lot of shops around campus, so I really dig that.
Great.
Hey guys. Oh, hi guys. Can you guys hear me? Well, okay. All right. I also go to Cornell. My name is Alexandria, but you could just call me Alex. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I double major with communication and development sociology. My favorite beverage is like anything with crayon in front of it. It's like the crayon grape, the crayon tropical, crayon apple. I love all of them. I'm low-key like obsessed with all of it. But yeah.
Fantastic. And Farmingdale.
Hi everyone, my name is Ayon Blake. I go by the pronouns he, him, his. I go to Farmingdale State College and my major is business management with a minor in sociology. My favorite food, I have so many, but I am Jamaican, so I love jerk chicken with vegetable. So yeah.
It's good stuff. Candy is a fan of that. Great. And do we have Morgan with us?
Yeah. So I'm Morgan. I go by she, her. I'm on Farmingdale campus. I'm majoring in business management, and next semester I'm adding a minor in sport management. And my favorite food, French fries.
Very good. Thank you, Morgan. And Nicole or Robin from FIT.
Hi, my name is Nicole. I go to FIT and I'm studying cosmetics and fragrance marketing. And my favorite food right now would have to be plums.
Plums, very nice.
Hi, I'm Robin. My pronouns are he, him, or they, theirs. Either works fine for me. I'm studying fashion business management, and I actually already did my specialization, which is product development. And my favorite food is honestly torn between arroz y gandules, like Candy mentioned. Now I'm hungry for it. Or Chinese soup dumplings.
Both great. Thank you. And let's see, Finger Lakes Community College, Jamie or Kai? Jamie, I think I saw you.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. It's not like Cisco where you hold the space bar down. I use Cisco on all the classes. I'm punching my space bar. He, him, his are my pronouns. I go to Finger Lakes. I'm a networking and cybersecurity major. I love pretzels. I found these new crackers that have the Toll House on one side or the butter cracker and pretzels. Those are really great. And then I'm also a coffee guy. So
I'll have to try that. Sounds good. Thank you. And Kai, I don't know if Kai's on yet. Okay. Let's see. We can go on and then he can join us later. Let's see. How about Genesee Community College?
Hi, my name is Maylani Nelson. I go to Genesee. My pronouns are she, her, hers, or yeah. My major is individualized studies with a business and arts focus. And then my favorite food would probably have to be like spring rolls from like Panda Express, or like my mom's friend used to make them for us, so they're like I could eat those all day. And then yeah.
Definitely. Thank you for being here. And Herkimer?
Hi, my name is Ngan, and I usually go by Nina. My pronoun is she, her, or hers. I am going to Herkimer as my second year as a business marketing major. And my favorite food, because I'm Vietnamese, so I love pho, I love spring roll, you name it, I'll eat it. I'm here with Juliana, but I'm not sure if she's here. So.
Okay. Well, thank you, Nina. And Juliana, are you on with us? Okay. How about Monroe Community College?
Hello, everyone. This is Mariam Masood. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I'm a student in Monroe Community College, Global Studies major. This is my last semester. And my favorite food is called qabli, which is an Afghan dish. It is rice with raisins, carrots, almonds, and pistachio, which is pretty good. And I'm excited to be here.
Very good. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
And I think anyone else from Monroe? I don't believe so. Okay. New Paltz?
Hi everyone, my name's Kate and I go to New Paltz. My major is communication disorders and my pronouns are she, her, hers. I'd say my favorite food is probably spaghetti and meatballs. It's always good. Good to work with you all and get to know you.
Wonderful. Thank you. And Caitlin? Or I'm sorry, Jennifer.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I just got this past May my degree in international business. I'm now getting my master's in business administration. And my favorite, I guess, beverage, I love tea. I'll drink any kind of tea, but I love a good jasmine.
There's a lot of tea drinkers, I feel, me included, coffee and tea.
I can't drink coffee. I have a weak stomach, so I love tea.
I am with you on that one. Tea is the best for me as well. Thank you for being here. And Anandaga.
Hello.
We can hear you. Yep.
So my name is Sipo Rock. My pronoun would be she, her. So I go to like a community college, which I majored in humanity and social science. My favorite food are there's a lot, but fried rice with egg. That's it, I think.
Great. Thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, go ahead.
My name is Ede Ramirez. I prefer that people call me to call me Elizabeth. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I study at Onondaga Community College. My major is humanities and social science, but I am planning to enroll in nursing program. My favorite food is rice and beans with roast pork because I am from Cuba.
Love that. Very good. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
And let's see who we have. Rockland. Darius, are you with us? Okay, we'll move on. Stony Brook.
Hello?
Hi, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, it's great to be here. I'm very honored and humbled to be part of this program. My name is Gabrielle Ramirez, as it could probably say underneath, but I prefer to be called Gabby. My pronouns are she, her, hers. My major is sociology. Fun fact, this past semester, I did an independent study regarding the racial and ethnic disparities in mental health, and I'm hoping to apply that research for my master's program in social work. My favorite beverage is chai tea with cinnamon.
I'm with you on that. Thank you. And is Anthony with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello, everybody. I'm Anthony. My pronouns are he, him, his. I go to Stony Brook University, and I'm majoring in nursing right now. And my favorite food would have to be fried chicken, because we all love fried chicken.
Very good. And are you Albany folks?
Hi, my name is Shania Yearwood. I'm a double major in sociology and human development, and I have a concentration in counseling psych and a minor in psych. And my favorite food is pasta. I don't get tired of pasta. And my favorite beverage is Ensure. I don't like these two things together, but like separately, yeah.
Thank you. And Thal?
Hello, my name is Thalia. I'm a senior at UAlbany. I like to be called Thal. My pronouns are Miss, Mrs. No, Miss Ma'am, she. My favorite food is I'm from Ghana. My mom is from Jamaica. Me and my dad are from Ghana. So I like plantains, but my favorite food is fufu and kinky. It's a West African dish like made from flour, and we eat with our hands. And we eat it with spicy food. Yeah.
Very good.
Oh,
I know
I
Joyce would be. Joyce
major
loves
in
spicy food.
history and political science.
What's that?
My major is history and political science.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
And Brockport?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, yep.
Okay, my name's Caitlin. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm from SUNY Brockport. I'm a social work major and psychology minor. And my favorite drink would probably also be chai tea. And my favorite food is chicken parm.
That's a good one too.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
My name is Taylor. I major in communication with a minor in graphic design and marketing. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and my favorite drink is definitely coffee.
A coffee fan, very good. And let's see here, SUNY Buffalo, University of Buffalo.
Hi,
Hello.
you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Sadia. I go to University at Buffalo. My pronouns are she, her, hers. My major, I'm majoring in public health. I'm still undergraduate. I'm hoping to graduate next semester. Let's see what happens. And my favorite food, well, I have a lot of favorite foods. Like I live for food. But one thing I can think of right now, biryani. It's a Bangladeshi dish. I'm from Bangladesh. My mom is an amazing cook. It's, rice with meat and potatoes. It's awesome. And my favorite beverage, coffee. Coffee all the way.
All right. Very nice. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
And let's see, Leah.
Hi, I'm Leah. My pronouns are she, hers, or her, and I go to UB too. My major is exercise science, pre-physical therapy, and my favorite food is probably Thai food, like pad Thai or the mango salad. I love that. Honestly, everything Thai.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. And let's see, Empire State.
Hello, my name is Chance Kelly. From MP. My pronouns are he, him, his. My major is business administration, and I'm concentrating in marketing and management. My favorite food is anything Hispanic or Italian.
Thank you. And Geneseo. Militia. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So my name is Melisha. I attend SUNY Geneseo. My major is English with a minor in dance. Favorite food would be pork chops. I really love them. And my favorite beverage is definitely hot chocolate, any weather. So, oh, and I go by she, her, hers.
Thank you. And Morrisville. Paul, are you with us? Okay, we'll move on to Old Westbury.
Hi everyone. My name is Talea Doctor. I'm from SUNY Old Westbury. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and my major is criminology. I minor in psychology and social work. And my favorite food has to be any type of salmon burgers, anything.
Thank you. And Jewel, are you with us? Okay. Ashton from Oneonta. And if some folks have, if their mics aren't working, you can just place it in the chat. That's okay too. Gio and Gabby from SUNY Poly.
Well, hi, my name is Gabby, and my pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm from SUNY Polytechnic Institute of Technology. My favorite food would probably be burgers without the actual like burger, but with like mushrooms instead. And I really like horchata, which is a typical drink from my country.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Giovanni. You can call me Gio. Communications information design major, pronouns he, him, his. And I'm going to have to agree with Candy with that arroz con gandules. There, I could eat that all the time. I got to work on my Spanish, though, but I can eat it all the time. And then my favorite drink, I would have to say Saranac root beer. So I'm from Utica, so that's made right here in Utica. So I gotta represent the 315. So I'll go with Saranac.
Thank you very much. And then SUNY Ulster, Beatrice and Colin.
My name is Colin. My pronouns are he, him. I'm from SUNY Ulster. My major is criminal justice. My favorite food is steak, and my beverage is Coke.
Thank you. And Beatrice, are you on with us?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm Beatrice Ann, aka B. Pronouns I, it, who. I love garlic, onions, steak, roast beef, chocolate milk, delicious smoothies. And is that it?
I think so.
I think so, right?
Yep. I think we got everything. Cool. Thank you for being here. And let's see, Upstate Medical University.
Yep. Hi, everyone. I'm Alicia Guillaume. My pronouns are she, her, hers. Actually was the SUNY New Paltz alum, but I currently do attend SUNY Upstate. I am a Master's of Public Health student, but I'm going right into medical school next year. My favorite food, I'm Haitian, so there's a dish called legume. It's basically like vegetable stew, but sometimes you put oxtail in it, crab, anything like that. I love it with white rice.
Sounds like it would be good in the fall time also. Anytime, but fall time for sure. Thank you. And SUNY Purchase. Blake or Nayeli?
Hi, my name is Nayeli. I attend SUNY Purchase. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a liberal studies major with a minor in psychology and global Black studies. My favorite food, well, I'm from Barbados, so one of our dishes is flying fish. So I really like that with my mom's macaroni pie. And I don't really have a favorite beverage, but yeah, that's me.
Thank you. And is Blake with us? Okay. How about SUNY Westchester Community College?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, guys. My name is Sam. I go by the pronouns her, hers, she, whichever order. My major right now is math science and health science, but I will be a nursing major next year. And I would have to say my favorite beverages are like coffee and like a green tea matcha latte, like hot or iced. And I love tacos. Tacos are my thing.
I love all of those things as well. Okay, and let's see. Neil, are you with us? All right, I think that's everybody that's here. So what a great group also. I'm really excited to work with all of you. Oh, go ahead.
Just real quick. I joined late. I'm Dylan. I'm from Alfred State. My pronouns are he, his, and him. I am a mechanical engineering major with a math minor. And I think my favorite food is steak as well. I'll probably have to go Pepsi.
Pepsi. Very good. Thank you for being here. Anyone else that we missed? Okay. So let's get right into it. I know that we're a little bit, we're closer to the end, but so I just want to, before we get to our next speaker, but I do want to give just a quick overview of what to expect in the academy. So we did introductions and let's see here. We learned a little bit about SAIL and how we we work to develop leadership programming for faculty, staff, and students across the system. This is our SAIL team. We have colleagues that we work with in order to facilitate and help us develop programming. And so these are our SAIL colleagues. And if this is the fall seminar schedule, I'm sure many of you, if not all of you, have seen this before. We're here September 18th at Setting Yourself Up for Success in College. We're going to talk next week about know yourself to lead others and identity and everything. And then October 2nd and October 26th is all about mentoring. October is mentoring month, and we'll go into that a little bit more in a bit. And November 13th, we're going to be talking about articulating and communication styles and skills. And November 20th, we're going to be talking about cultural intelligence and how can you be a better leader when you're culturally intelligent and being able to lead different teams to include those folks on your team. And then December 4th, I can't believe, I don't want to talk about it yet, program reflections and graduation. So as you know, every participant has to participate in at least 6 out of the 7 sessions. We will be recording. We're recording right now. So if for some reason you are not able to make one of the meetings or one of the seminars, you can watch the recording, and that will count as your participation for that. You will have a seminar survey, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, but I do want to bring us back to what are we going to learn from this academy. So you're going to have a better understanding of your own culture and identities as they relate to their peers, to your peers, the community, and the world, expanding your personal and professional network locally and globally, and learning and flexing skills of storytelling and being able to articulate your story to future hiring managers, which I know that a lot of you are interested in doing. So just a few guiding principles for this conversation, for today, and all of the other sessions going forward is just being fully present, and all of you have been doing great at that. Be self-responsible for change and educating ourselves and not necessarily relying on others to get that education. Listening and listen and respond, meaning if you are more reserved, maybe challenging yourself to speak up. And if you are more extroverted and you know that you talk a bunch, leaving space for other people to speak. Experiment with new behaviors, being open-minded, be crisp and say what is core, what is important to you, and be soft on people and hard on barriers to understanding. We're all in this together. We're trying to learn from each other. And so that's definitely something that we want to keep in mind as we have these conversations that can be sometimes a bit tricky to have. And then honoring confidentiality, I guess Vegas rules, if you want to say, what stays, what we say in this space stays here. And that will allow us to open up. So if everyone is good with that, if I can get a thumbs up reaction okay, great. So the time commitment for this is approximately 3 to 4 hours a month. So we have 2-hour seminars, and outside of that time, it would be an additional 1 to 2 extra hours. Flipgrid. So many of you have uploaded your Flipgrid video. Thank you. If you haven't yet, or you want to check out the videos of your peers, feel free to go back to that link and upload it. And So the mentoring sessions, there were a couple questions about that. We're going to be looking at, on October 2nd, the importance of mentoring and tips for identifying a mentor and related materials. So don't feel like you have to have all the answers in regards to that. Yes, we are asking that you identify a mentor, but we will be giving you tips and tools in which to do so. And then we would have a check-in to see how everyone's doing with that. And next session, you'll be getting your peer coaching circles. So you'll be in groups you'll be in a smaller group, and this will allow you to have strengthen conversations with a smaller group of people. And LinkedIn, we created a LinkedIn group, and Joyce and I, the invitation will come from Joyce or myself, inviting you to the LinkedIn group. LinkedIn is where we can share different updates, documents. We're going to be sharing our recordings on there, but also we will be emailing those recordings. But it is a good place for us to have those productive conversations outside of seminar time. And after each session, you will be asked to fill out a post-seminar survey. And Joyce is going to, at the end of this session, around 2 o'clock, she's going to be putting the link in the chat, but each seminar survey is due by the end or by the start of the next session. So approximately a week. So this one right here would be due at the start of the September 25th session. Okay. This is our design team. I don't know if some of you were in the information session, you saw this, but these are the people that helped to create the curriculum for this. And so we just wanted to, thank them again. As you can see, Martha was a big part of that. And we really are fortunate that she served on that team. Okay. So before we get into our speaker, what questions do you have?
Do we have to sign up for LinkedIn?
Thank you for bringing that up. So if you don't have a LinkedIn account, you can work with me or your campus or someone who would be able to walk you through creating an account.
Is it necessary to have an account?
I would prefer not to have one because then your personal information gets online and people can easily search you up.
That's why I don't like it either. Privacy.
Yeah, that's a valid point. We can absolutely talk about that. And I'm thinking if there are maybe, I don't know, if there are privacy settings or something that we can look at, but also I feel like it's up to you all and your comfort level. Obviously, we don't want to force anything, but it is an opportunity for extra professional development materials and resources and just being able to connect with the peers in your cohort.
Why can't we do that via, say, Gmail?
Yeah, Gmail or like Outlook, since you guys all use it.
Exactly.
Okay, so Gmail. That is a good option. We will have to look into that. Is everyone comfortable with Gmail?
I'm okay with either.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm okay with
I have a
either.
LinkedIn. I'm
Yeah, I
okay
don't
with
mind.
either.
Either one is fine.
Okay. All right. So maybe we'll go that route. Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
But I kind of do like the LinkedIn idea because I feel like I personally on my LinkedIn don't have a lot of connections. But if we're doing that, if we could still kind of do that for people that do have LinkedIn, it's fine with it.
Okay. Yeah. I think.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. That's
LinkedIn.
okay.
Also, Marissa, there's a question in the group chat from Naomi. I don't know if you're
Okay.
checking it.
Let's see. The chat is like real right now. I love this. Okay. Let me try to find. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So to answer your question, we aren't going to be assigning a mentor, but we're going to be working with you on, with different tips, and we're going to be able to provide you with different agreements so that you can see the roles and responsibilities of a mentor and things like that. So I hope that answered your question. Okay. Okay. I'm just reading all of these wonderful comments. Is Dr. Tara here?
Question.
Oh,
What were
yep.
you gonna put on?
Sorry, go ahead.
I think my what were you saying that you were gonna post on LinkedIn, like articles or like information, or on the LinkedIn or the Google? Is that where you were planning on post? Okay, just curious.
Yes, yeah. Originally, we were planning to put that all on LinkedIn, and it would be different articles that are related to the topics of the seminars, and other recordings and things like that. But we definitely will look into Google, because I think most everyone is comfortable with that. So. Thank you.
Marissa, can I add something?
Yep.
So someone asked about if they're able to look up the LinkedIn group if we proceed with that one. I just want to say that you will not be able to look it up. It's a private group. So it would have to be me or Marissa that would add you. And there is an option for people who are considering making a LinkedIn account to private your actual LinkedIn account. So just want to let you know all that.
Thank you, Joyce. Yeah. Other things, questions, comments? Okay.
Oh, me.
Oh, yep.
For the mentoring, I feel like you just answered it, but it got lost. Do you guys assign us the mentor?
No.
No. Okay.
No. But we will be giving you materials in which to be able to identify a mentor on your own. Okay. Dr. Tara, are you here?
I'm here.
Hello.
Oh.
So I will turn it over to you if you're ready, and if you need any sort of share or screen share capabilities.
No, I'm going to talk, and I'm not. Could you just remind me on how much time I have? Because I thought it was like, is it 30 minutes? I could talk for like 20 minutes, and then I know you have another speaker behind me, so I want to be cognizant of my time.
Sure. Yes, that sounds perfect. 20 minutes, and we can save a little bit of time if anyone has questions at the end. And I did want to just quickly introduce you. Dr. Tara Giambra, am I saying that right? Is the CEO of TMJ Consulting. And I will turn it over to you. Feel free to talk about your experiences. And I know that the students have received your bio, and so they know a little bit about you, but if you could share with them, that'd be great.
Thank you so much, Marissa. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd just like to say thank you to the SUNY SAIL Leadership Academy, Carolyn, and Marissa, and Jason for inviting me on this afternoon to really talk to you about college and careers and how you can really navigate your pathway. As an alum of the SUNY SAIL Institute, I'm so proud to share with each one of you what I've learned and applied in my experiences through the program and experiences across my whole career trajectory. And so just as an aside, although I'm going to be talking, I want this to be a conversation as we kind of move through this. I'll talk for about 20 minutes and we'll have some questions afterwards. So feel free to put them in the chat or write them on the side if you want to ask me later. But I find the best conversations are those that are engaging and that they're two-way, they're a dialogue. So just before we get started, let's have some reactions here. You see the little smiley face down at the bottom of your screen. I'm going to ask you a question. I want everyone to hit the thumbs up if it's If it's a yes,
I don't see any smiley face.
it says reactions at the bottom. Just where you click thumbs up. Yep, I see you, Gabby. Caroline. Yep. All right. Then Naomi, Morgan. Yeah, Robin, Sam, Dylan. Thank you for doing that. I love it. Love it. Love it. So I'm going to ask you two questions, and I just really want you to think about it, right? As I sort of share my story with you. How many of you know what you are purposed to do in your college life or your career? And do you know what your leadership style is? So the title of my presentation today is Reimagining Your Leadership Pathway in Perilous Times. You are the change that the world needs to see. Okay, let me say that again because that's so important for you to hear. Reimagining your leadership pathway in perilous times. You are the change the world needs to see. So today's title is really built on the broader scope of what it takes to lead in the midst of challenges. And I want you to think about what's happening in the state of our nation globally. We know that COVID-19 and the civil unrest that has reemerged in our communities and the pressure that rests on many of our shoulders seems so enormous. But now is the time for us to rise up with solutions to those problems that exist in our society. To be the change makers that transform the world one day at a time through innovation. This is the time to speak out for justice and transform policies in our country so that we can leave a legacy for generations to come. So in the words of the late Representative John Lewis, who is known for saying, get in good trouble, the kind of trouble that really sparks change in the criminal justice system, healthcare, corporations, and education. So important to who we are and what we need to do, right, in our communities. So from the solidarity of the Black Lives Matter movement to the national sports teams and players from Milwaukee and the Bucks protesting the shooting of Jacob Blake, and the March on Washington, which echoes the late Dr. Martin Luther King's speech that was held there in the 1960s. And it said, we can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of unspeakable horrors of police brutality, end quote. So despite everything that is happening in our country, well, the world, just think about it. We can all be the change that we want to see in the world. So I want us to just pause for a moment, and I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to breathe now. Just for a few minutes. And then I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to imagine the possibilities of who you are and who you're growing into as a leader of the new world. What is your purpose and how have you gotten to this place where you are now? Okay? So think about that. You've come a long way. And I'm so happy that I've had an opportunity to meet you today. So I'm going to shift things a bit, right? Because we had a few pauses there. I want to say, you've all invested in higher education. You've invested in your learning overall because you have a purpose. You've come this far, not just for an education, but an opportunity to live your purpose. Your purpose brings meaning to your life. It is what you're specifically called to do, whether it's working in the medical field as a doctor or nurse or starting your own business, embarking on a journey to opening your own school, teaching, or breaking barriers of being the first of many, right? Just like Jackie Robinson was the first Black baseball player to play in the major leagues. Just like Shirley Chisholm was the first Black woman to be elected to Congress in 1968, and so many more. I want you to think about your first. What is your first in your family? I want to let you know that you are the legacy of the world. And for me, I want to tell you my story. So my story is that I am the first person in my family to achieve a PhD. The first. I'm a first generation, no college student. My parents loved all of us. And one of the things that inspired us about our parents is their hard work and their dedication to our education. So I'm the first. but I didn't grow up here in Buffalo, New York, where I'm located today, and I've been living for over 10 years. I grew up in a Champion, Ohio, which is about 3.5 hours from Buffalo. It's a suburb, predominantly white community, outside of the city of Warren. And our family was one of the first of 4 Black families that lived in an all white community. And as the eldest of 2 brothers and 2 sisters, I served as their advocate, as their protector, even though I'm an introvert. You may not be able to tell that from my talk today, but I really am. And while I remember the history of our experiences in the community, I also remember the growth. While I remember some of the atrocities of a cross being burned in one of the family's lawns and the N-word being shouted at us, I do remember the growth that we had as a family, as a community, growing into memories of joy, love, and friendship. I remember my brother and I riding bikes on the trails all day, not worrying. I remember eating strawberry crepes at my friend Becky's house. I remember learning how to cook soul food at my Aunt Nellie's soul food restaurant, right? A gift that I still have today. And I remember working in my family's small business at festivals selling t-shirts and purses and jewelry. There was an art to it, and we all had to learn it. And I remember that those 3 other families served as a support system for each one of us. But what I remember most of all is that the reason why my parents moved us to Champion was to get a better education. And guess what? They succeeded. They had the right perspective. So while moving to Champion was a financial sacrifice to my parents because my father had retired from the military and my mom was a stay-at-home mom, they were willing to make that sacrifice. And my father worked at a plant. My mom ended up working at a beauty supply store. And you know, my father served in Vietnam in the Navy. And when he got out, he began taking odd jobs outside of working in the plant, while my mother was able to pursue a college degree, but didn't finish because she got pregnant with me. But she said she had dreams for each one of her children. She said the dream was to sow a big seed, and that seed was sown when we moved to Champion. So it came to life when I graduated with a PhD in American Studies, specializing in global women's gender studies at the University of Buffalo. Although my father was not able to witness because of his untimely death in 1996, the seed was planted in me to be great, to live in greatness, to be in purpose. I had done it. I was the first to graduate in my family with a PhD, but it came with a hefty cost. Student loan debt. We know that there's trillions of dollars of student loan debt. And while I had many resources at my disposal as a first generation college student, I didn't know how to use them. I didn't know how to navigate the complex systems of college and university life. I was moving from place to place, asking questions, not really sure what to do, working 2 or 3 part-time jobs, trying to find who I was and what was the next step for my purpose. I didn't know. And so that whole time period from undergrad to graduate was a journey for me. A journey that I was able to learn so much about myself, not just as a student, but in my career. And so I'm going to speed it up a little bit and skip some areas because I know that we have time constraints. But my colleague and I both had similar experiences in higher education. We're both first generation college students, and we said we wanted to write about our experiences. And we decided that we were going to write a short article for the Journal of College Admissions, which ended up turning into a winning article. We won the John B. Muir Award that really helped us to think about, wow, maybe we should turn this into a book. And the article itself was called, "Is College a Lousy Investment?" And what we talked about is the return on investment in college. What does that actually look like? It's not just a monetary sense that, you're paying tuition, you're living, it's the time that you're sacrificing to sit in the chair and learn more about yourself, but more than that, learn a skill or a craft that you can apply to make a living, but not just make a living and survive, but to thrive. And so I'm going to share with you some of the tips that I've learned over the years that really have helped me, and I'm going to interweave some of my experiences to really help you think about some of the things that helped me understand who I was as a person and then how to navigate my career. And so the first thing that I want to say to you is that communication and networking is absolutely essential in your career. I didn't know that at first. I was a shy undergraduate college student that came on campus. I lived on campus for a couple of years and I got to know people, but I didn't know how to be engaged. And so one of the things that really helped me is once I finished my bachelor's degree and I was able to move on to a master's, I got a job as an academic advisor and I began to interface with students and their families, and I started to see that it was all focused on degree. It was not focused on the experience at all. And that's what I had experiences, but I didn't have an intentional effort of I have to do this so I can learn this, so I can take everything out like a sponge so I can use it later. I didn't understand that when I was going to college. But you have a unique opportunity to develop a network of people with faculty, friends, people who are on this call right now that could be sitting in a room and make a recommendation about who you are and for a position. Let me tell you very quickly. So I end up going back for graduate school for my PhD. And what happened was I was serving as a graduate assistant in the office, and I was doing a lot of different projects, working for EOP, running the summer program, learning how to advise. I just did a lot of different projects. And so time came for the semester to start. They had hired a new academic advisor, but 2 weeks before classes start, guess what? That person said they could not do the job. However, they needed someone in that role immediately that knew what to do. And guess what? The boss who I'd been working with that time, she said, Tara, can you do it? It'll be temporary, but can you work full time and step in? And then we'll see in a year if you want to stay in this role. I ended up staying in that role for 6 years. But this is what I have to tell you. I didn't apply for that job. I had to go through a process. But it was because I was there, I was connected, and I was engaged, that an opportunity came right there before me. So communication and engagement is important, right? So that's lesson number 1. So lesson number 2 is investment mindset. What do you think I mean by that? Put that in the chat for me. What do you think I mean by investment mindset? Similar experience on how I have my internship now. Okay, great. Shania, awesome. What else? What do I mean by investment mindset? Put it in the chat for me. Work now to have it pay off later. Everything that you do is somehow invested. Investing in relationships, future, investing in yourself, doing it by yourself, investing in yourself. Awesome. Willingness to work for what you want. That is so great. That is awesome, right? Because many times we don't think about investment in terms of coming back to ourselves. When we think about investment, we think about money, we think about stocks and bonds. You know, in these last several months, we've seen the stock crash, we've seen people lose money, and we think of it in just in a monolithic way. But when we think about return on investment, we're thinking about the holistic perspective. We're thinking about the money, we're thinking about the energy that we put into something. We're thinking about the mindset that we have. Are we able to think from just one perspective? Are we able to look at everything with a big picture, right? Not just from our own benefits, but the idea of paying for college, right? So I'm going to give you a career example how I really started to understand that sewing into myself was going to help not only me, but those around me. So I had a position as director of multicultural affairs, and I started this job, and I loved it. I worked with students. I stayed there for about 7 years. I was doing program planning. I was excited. I did cultural climate service. I was doing all this different stuff. And so all of a sudden, my provost, he says, Tara, I'm going to mentor you. And I'm like, what? You know, I'm still early in my career. I just finished my PhD. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means. But he said, well, he started giving me readings. Then they invited me to be a part of a leadership program that was for a year to help me learn what it takes to be an administrator. Then they said, you know what, Tara, I want you to help with middle states, do assessments. I want you to help with strategic planning. What little did I know is that they were investing in me because they saw something great in me that I didn't even see it myself, right? And then the president says, Tara, I want you to be a part of this ACE Women's Network because we know that you love to bring women together, help them navigate their careers and get to the next step. And I'm like, totally cool, yes. And so what I learned from that experience is that I need to invest in myself more than what people are investing in me. So every year I make a plan before the year even starts, what am I going to invest in my learning and my growth? Whether it's a webinar, whether it is a conference, whether it's a virtual or in-person conference, whether it's a book that I'm reading, it's a book club, a conversation, whether I'm taking time for self-care, I'm investing in myself so I can grow and move forward, okay? So tip number 3 is strength-based approach. Know yourself in the areas that you're strong in. That is so important. It's okay, all of us have weaknesses. I am a big fan of Strengths Quest. I've taken it a couple of times and my results usually come out the same. But because I know my strengths, I know whenever I go into a new role that I need to build people around me that are in my weaknesses. So my weaknesses are my blind spot. So think about it as a car. You're driving a car and you have a blind spot. It's okay that you have a blind spot, but you need to put someone in that blind spot so they're covering you, right? So that is the team, that's the collaboration that comes together with that, all right? So strengths-based approach, you need to always think about your strengths. What are you good at? What are you gifted at? What are you called to do? What do you feel a passion for that's ignited in you, all right? And so I kind of touched on the next tip, lifelong learning. Never, ever, ever stop learning. Your experiences help to shape what the next step that you're going to take in your life, okay? And, you know, the one thing that I thought I was not going to do, I did it. I took an Africana Schools curriculum class with a professor, and he took us through this wonderful process of personal transformation from growth in the beginning to the growth in the end around identity. And he said, you're going to Ghana, Tara. And I said, no, I'm not. I told him I wasn't going, I couldn't afford it, and I was not leaving the country. But guess what? I went to Ghana and it changed my life. I've been to Ghana 8 times since that time. I wrote my dissertation because of that experience with that one faculty member. So what I want to say to you, never discount an experience. And even if you think you can't afford it, there is money out there for you to go. And I'm forever connected to Ghana. My dissertation was Hip Hop, Hip Life, Global Sisters. And it looked at the representations of Black women in the South Bronx and hip hop, and then women in hip life music in Ghana. So engaging. And then later in my career, guess what? I used that same experience to go be an advisor for one of my colleagues who was doing a service learning experience. So you see, when you have lifelong learning, you never know what path is going to take you on for your purpose. And so the last but not least is never underestimate the power of mentoring. Mentoring never has to be formal. It doesn't have to be someone that you meet with every week or every month, but it could be someone that you call. I have former students that text me and say, can I talk for 15 minutes? I'm mentoring them, but they also mentoring me too. Because I'm like, well, can you teach me about that social media and how I should be running that on my business? And they teach me. So it's a two-way street with mentoring. But also, there's another way that I really want to encourage you, because I heard you talking about LinkedIn. I use LinkedIn. I know some of you are concerned about privacy, but I put on there my story. I want people to know who I am. And you don't put everything on there. You just put the highlights. And then people will call you. I've gotten contracts because of my LinkedIn profile. People have reached out to me. Caroline reached out to me to talk to you guys today through LinkedIn. I also just recently, someone else asked me to speak for women's rights for internationally from LinkedIn. So I don't want you to discount that. And guess what? I use LinkedIn because I said, you know, there was a time in my career where I wanted to be a president. So I have been watching a African-American female who was president, and I loved the way she led. She was just so dynamic. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to take a chance. I don't even know her, but I sent her a nice message. I said, listen, I'm just aspiring to be a president. Do you have 20 minutes to talk to me? Do you know she said yes? She said yes. And we got on the phone, we talked and laughed, and she gave me advice that I use to this day. And so never underestimate the power of mentoring, and it comes in all forms. And so I just want to let you know, in the midst of your greatest challenges, you will find your purpose. You will be able to push through and come up with a solution to many problems that exist today. And being a part of the SUNY Leadership Academy is just one step. It's just the tip of the iceberg of how far each of one of you are going to go. And remember that you are the change that the world needs to see. So I'm going to open it up for questions. I don't know how you want to do this, Marissa, but I'm just so excited to be here with you guys. Any questions that you may have, I'm happy to answer them. Definitely, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn and connect with me after this this video, and I'd be happy to, you know, stay connected with you and share any insights that you may have.
How did you get to Ghana your first time?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the full question.
How did you get to Ghana your first time?
My first time, a professor invited me. I went for a study abroad in graduate school. We went for 3 to 4 weeks. We stayed in Accra for a couple of weeks. Then we went to Kumasi. We went to 3 or 4 different cities. And it was such an amazing experience that I just, you know, I will never forget Ghana. I have dreams for building my own house in Ghana now just because of that one seed. So you just never know how far you go. Just step out there.
Thank you. Are there other questions for Dr. Tara?
Dr. Tara,
Dr.
are we
Tara.
to reach out
Oh,
to
sorry, I didn't know you were talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were first. Go ahead. Oh.
No, go, you continue.
I was just asking about the LinkedIn. Are we able to connect with you on LinkedIn as well?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Just asking. That's cool.
Nice to meet you, Sam.
Same here.
Do you still want to be president?
Well, I'm CEO of my own company, and I've thought about it. Somebody asked me that question recently, and they said, you would be a dynamic president of a, you know, of a college, small college. And I said, that would be awesome. I've thought about it, you know. I think it's the traditional route is typically you are a full-time faculty through that position. You know, I think that sometimes depending on the institution, they will look at individuals that have administrative experience. So I'm open to it, definitely.
There was a question in the chat. Are there any other countries to travel on your list?
Yes, definitely. I have a lot of countries on my list that I want to travel to. I have a good friend who is from Eritrea, and I just helped her start her paperwork for her nonprofit in the name of her mom. And so we are hoping to go next year. I want to go to Israel, South Africa, Nigeria. You know, I want to go to France, Italy. I have a long list. It's like a bucket list. I got to get everywhere.
Great. And I know, Thal, you had a question, right?
Yes. I'm actually from Ghana, Tara.
I am not actually from Ghana. However,
Yeah.
you know, the first time that I went to Ghana, you know, they started speaking to me in Tree. And
Yeah, that's the language we speak.
And they'll say, she's anti-free. She doesn't speak. She looks just like us. She looks like Fonty. So I say it's my home because one of my good friends, we always go there, and she laughs when people speak to me in Tree, and I still have not learned the language yet. That was my goal, to actually try to learn, but I have not.
And did you have a question? Did that?
Yeah, I asked her in the chat for her email so we can chat privately.
Sure, sure.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much. It was amazing hearing your story and experiences. And we really appreciate your time here today with us. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And if you ever need anything else, I'm here. I'm willing and I'm able.
Thank you.
Everyone. It was so nice meeting you. Hopefully I'll be back again.
Thank you.
Yes.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thank you. And Candy, we're gonna turn it over to you.
Right. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Is everybody still with us?
Yeah, hanging in there.
All right, awesome. I have something to share, Marissa. So if we could, I don't know if you already.
Yes, you are a co-host, so you
Awesome.
can share. Yep.
All right. So let me just take a moment to do that. Okay. So first off, I know that we've been kind of engaged and sitting for a little bit. Why don't everybody just, if you can, move around. If you can stand up, fine. If you can't, that's fine. But just move around and just, get kind of centered again so that you guys can, and you all, not you guys, you all can engage in this last part. We're almost at the finish line. What wonderful presentations we've had thus far. I'm so excited to be part of this. And I thank you all, Marissa and everyone else, for thinking of me to speak with you all today. So we're going to talk a little bit about charting a path to success, which is very similar to what you've heard thus far. So what I'm going to be doing to make it a little bit different is I'm going to just really focus on the things that you haven't heard, right? Because there are some things that we share in common, but that goes to show you that those are tips for success that are real, that work, because like-minded people are sharing those things with you, right? So the first thing I wanted to share is that I'm at the System University Life at SUNY System. And we are an office that works on behalf of students throughout all 64 of our campuses. So it's really cool because I'm uniquely able to work both with like our student leaders like yourselves and specifically with our student government. I'm their advisor, but I also am able to work amongst a bunch of other individuals who are able to offer different areas. So like we have someone who works with veteran students. We have someone who works on behalf of students with disabilities. We have someone who works in the childcare area, because some of our students are parents. Someone who works on alcohol and other drugs. And so I just wanted to share a little bit about my office, where I sit now, and ways that we could be useful to many of you on the line. One of the things that we also handle in my office is we do student concerns, any challenges on your campuses. If that is the case for any of you, or you just want to find me, you can go to this website, and which hopefully someone can either add into this chat, but I also will add my email address later on. So that's that. So who am I, right? You're wondering maybe, who's Candy Griffin Jenkins and why is she qualified to speak to us about what success looks like, right? And how to be successful. So first and foremost, right, I'm a wife, mom, a sister, friend, and mentor. And I'm so excited that this program contains an element of mentorship, because that is what made or break my own experience, right? I am a licensed social worker, so kudos, woohoo, to those of you who are studying social work and human development, human behavior, and to all of you. I mean, we had so many amazing majors on here that is just, it's really awesome to be in your presence. I'm also a higher education coach. I've been doing this a really long time, and I have worked both with undergrads, master's level, doctoral students. I've also worked with high school students and middle school students in my former life. So, you know, this is right in my area. As I said earlier, I'm a proud University at Albany alum and so excited to be in the midst of other EOP students, graduates, alum, etc. EOP saved my life, and I don't say that lightly. If it weren't for EOP, I would not be sitting before you. For those of you who aren't familiar, EOP is the Educational Opportunities Program out of the SUNY campuses. There are HEOPs for the non-SUNY campuses. And EOP is just a dynamic program that really helped me to be the leader and the person that I am, right? And I mentioned earlier, I'm a SUNY SA advisor. And the reason why that's critical and key for you all is because I'm hoping that some of you, in addition to being leaders that identified by SUNY SAIL, may consider being part of SUNY SA, right? I mean, SUNY SA is the leadership for all students throughout the campuses. And it's one of the areas where, in addition to what you can do on your own campus as an SGA advisor or SGA member, it's something you can do in addition. So I just really wanted to mention that. And the other thing that is not written here, I'm a cycle breaker. I was born to be a cycle breaker, right? And so, you know, I'm really proud of the fact that I was able to, you know, come into the world and like have the spirit to know that there were a lot of things I saw around me. I'm originally from the Bronx. You know, we moved to Albany when I was younger, and I went to Albany, you know, but I'm the first, you know, on my father's side to go to college. And so, you know, you recognize that like, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on in this world that I'm not feeling. And what I learned is that like, you can actually do something about it, make a decision to make a change, and then go ahead and make that change. And as the first in my family on my father's side to graduate and go on to college and graduate, you know, from college, I set a new trend for my family. You know, and we helped to break some of the cycles of addiction and poverty and some of the other things that my family experienced as I was growing up in the Bronx. So I see we have a lot of campuses, and I'm so glad Marissa already did a who's who, so we don't have to go there, but I'm really thrilled that you are all with us today. So proud of you all. So proud of you all, and I hope you hear that sincerely. All right, so here's the question. Why are you here? I know why I'm here, right? I know that I'm a cycle breaker. I know that I'm a leader. I was born a leader. And I also know that my passion is doing exactly what I'm doing right now. It's helping other identified leaders, other born leaders, to step into who they're supposed to be, right? That's who I am. Who are you and why are you here, right? What is your purpose? And these are not questions you have to answer, but if you do have an idea of who you are, and if you do have an idea of your purpose, definitely put it in the chat, right? What is your purpose? You know, why are you born? There's a lot of people on the planet. Why you, right? If you know the answer to that, it helps other people to understand who you are, because you get to set the tone for how people engage with you, right? That you get to do that. What's your passion? What is the thing that when you do it, you're in flow? Time just ceases to exist. You know, you look up and hours went by, right? For me, engaging in this today is part of my passion, as I said. So I don't even notice what time it is because I'm so engaged and so excited by the other energy. And to see you all engaged, it just breathes life into my body, literally, right? What are your goals? So it's not enough to know what your passion is. It's not enough to know that you have purpose. You have to do something with those things, right? I can be passionate all day about, you know, wanting to help other people be great leaders, but if I don't set a goal and an intention to do something to be in that space, then it really doesn't matter. When Marissa reached out and said, Candy, you know, we're doing this, do you think it's possible? I could have easily said, no, I have so much going on. But I always remind myself that my number one reason that I sit on this earth is to help others, whether it be break cycles, achieve goals, reach, you know, the limits that they never step out of their comfort zone. So if I don't take the time to do that, then I'm not feeding my own spirit, what's the point, right? What's the point? So please know who you are, why you're here, and what you're going to do to get to that next place that you want to get to. It's really important. So we're going to shift gears a little bit, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about the new normal, because after all, the point of my talk is how to be successful at SUNY specifically, right? I mean, all of the things that I'm saying can be, you know, applied to any area of your life, really. But as SUNY system students, it's important for you to understand, okay, the time we're in now, right? Which is pretty much dictated by COVID, all things COVID for the most part, right? You all are back. Some of you might be on campus, some of you are home. Many of you are doing, you know, different ways of your learning. Some of you are online, some of you are in class. You know, it just depends on what's happening on your campuses. Hopefully you're being safe and you're wearing masks and you're doing all the things you need to do to stay, you know, safe and to keep the campuses running and that type of thing. But the new normal really is uncertainty. That's the bottom line. And the other thing that's very normal now is that people are very used to doing 10 things at once, which is why I love this graphic, because literally this is what most people look like at any moment in the day, right? You're doing this, and coffee, you notice many of you like coffee, and look, represented there, of course. So at the end of the day, it's important for us to recognize, I think if we don't recognize where we are realistically, it makes it really hard to navigate. And it's really important to just give kind of due respect to where we are and what's happening, you know? So for me, one of the things that I've learned in my life is that you have to trust the process, which can be really, really difficult to do in times of uncertainty. You know, you're asking me to do what when y'all don't even seem to know what y'all are doing, but you want me to trust you as an administrator, as a faculty, as a staff person. It's clear that you're uncomfortable, but you're asking me to get comfortable, right? This is all part of the growth experience. And the beautiful thing, and Dr. Tara mentioned it so beautifully, is that everybody's growing. And that mentoring relationship is a two-way street, right? It's not just about, you know, what am I giving to you? It's like, what are you all giving to me as well? What are you all giving to each other? What are you all giving to the world, which really needs you desperately right now, you know, in a positive way. So I'm asking you, as a person who's been doing this for a very long time, I mentioned working with middle school students, I mentioned working with high school students, I mentioned working, you know, in higher ed. I worked at the University at Albany for 17 years, you know, and 5 of those 17 years was as an assistant dean, working in the School of Social Welfare. So as an administrator, I know that the most people have your best interests at heart, right? And we're all doing the best we can to keep you all not just safe, but to get you through your experience in the most meaningful way possible. So trust that, you know, I'm asking you to trust that. I'm also asking you, I'm encouraging you, in fact, I'm challenging you to commit to the process. Don't just trust it, but I'm gonna need you to commit to it, right? I'm gonna need you to engage. Dr. Tara just talked about how being committed to her journey, she talked about how, you know, being able to take cues from other people who saw something in herself helped her to get to where she is now. And she has an option to be a president or not be a president. The same for myself, right? Trusting the process all along the way, even when I didn't understand it. And trust me, there's a lot of times where I didn't understand it. There's a lot of times now as a professional where I'm like, I'm not sure, but I have to remind myself that you have to trust, because all for your greater good, everything that you're experiencing is happening for your greater good. And so understanding that allows you to kind of get through that process, you know. And what I mean by engage, like most of you right now are showing yourselves and it's awesome. Like, it's just beautiful to see faces. Try to do the same in classes. Try to do the same when you're doing other virtual meetings. I know it's difficult right now, but everybody's craving to be connected. And just being connected means if I could see your face, like Sam, I see your face and I'm so excited to see your face, right? You know, Tali, I hope I said your name right. I'm happy to see your face. You know what I mean? So please, you know, commit to that. And then the other piece of it is embrace the challenges along the way, because guess what, folks? We're at the very beginning of this, and we got a long ways to go. And depending on where you are in your journey, if you're a freshman coming in, if you're, you know, I heard there was a master's, an MBA on the line. We have some other students in different areas. I think a junior, someone said, trust me, this won't be the last of our struggles along this way. But we got this though. That's the beautiful thing. We absolutely have this. The other thing I've learned along the way is that you have to ask for help when you need it. Absolutely. You have to ask for help. No one does anything in a vacuum or by themselves. It's important to rely on community, even if it's a virtual community. You know, who's who on your campuses? Do you know who's who? Do you know who you can reach out to? Do you know who the librarian is, who you might be able to email to get some resources? Do you know who, you know, your assistant deans are, or your deans? I mean, everybody in your departments, all of those folks are there for you, in service to you. And so keep that in mind, like get to know those people and get to make yourself known to them, right? Like that's really important too. And I know we're in a virtual world, but it's okay. You can literally still, you know, make yourself known, send an email of introduction, just show your face in class, especially when there's a lot of people on, because people notice that. If you happen to have a mental wellness center, you know, on your campus or even off your campus, and you believe that you need to get some additional resources in that way, please, you know, go and visit that mental wellness center. It's really important. And I don't just say that as a social worker, I say that because I recognize that, especially in the times we're in, it's really important to take care of yourself in every way that you can do that, you know. Ty, I think you are raising your hand, right? Did you have a question? Or are you just saying I'm with you? Just give me a thumbs up.
Who's Ty?
Is it Tal? I'm sorry, how do you say your name?
Oh,
yes, my bad. How do you say your name, sweet?
Thal.
Thal, there we are. My apologies. Thal, I see you're raising your hand. Do you have a question? Or are you just saying, I'm with you?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay,
that's all.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, I just wanted to make sure. So back to asking for help. You know, your peers, alum, why reinvent the wheel? If you're going through something or you're wondering about something, reach out to individuals. LinkedIn is a great place to do that because it shows you where people went, etc. Like Dr. Tara said, if you are in a situation where you want to do something and you want to, you know, reach out to those people who have done it. I've certainly done that, and it's been very, very useful for me. So, you know, consider that a resource, right? And then of course your families, whatever family looks like to you. It doesn't have to be a particular way. It's family by choice, it's family by blood, it's all of that, right? Whatever that means for you to get the support you need, please go after it, please. Self-care, this is my big thing. It's another one of my passions, right? And I know other folks have mentioned self-care, but I want to take a little bit of a deeper dive into self-care, why it's important, and also what it may look like for you. Right? Sometimes you just got to take a step back. Sometimes you just got to spend some time alone. Take a breath, you know, we've done that earlier. Move around, you know, put yourself first, right? What do you need? Setting boundaries. I did not really properly learn how to set boundaries until well into my after schooling. Well into my after schooling. Don't be like Candy. Learn to set boundaries early. No is a complete sentence, and you do not have to qualify it with a reason. It's just, I am unable to do that at this time, but I really thank you for thinking of me. That's perfect. Write that down. You'll use that later. Stay at home. Well, everybody's staying at home now, right? For the most part, or maybe in their dorms or whatever. Forgive yourself. Sometimes we feel bad about the things we can't do. It's okay. Forgive yourself. It's all good. Maybe I made a not so great choice. Deal with it, learn from it, move on, right? Self-care. And then I'm going to give you some reasons or some specifics, right? For me, I love me a good spa day. Maybe not right now, but when it's time to be safe about it, I'm there. I love music. Maybe some of you love music, right? I'm digging, especially now, many of these wonderful DJs are giving free sessions and I'm all over it, all over it. Exercise, your heart. If your heart ain't happy, how can you be, right? So do what you have to do. For some, it might be meditation, it might be prayer, right? For some, it might be reading a book and chilling, a Netflixing and chilling, right? Whatever it is, social media, engagement. It might be coloring, you know, whatever it is, no judgment. Just do what you have to do to take care of yourself. But when you feel like you need to take a break, please do. And also hydrate yourself. I got this big old water bottle. Hydrate yourself. It's very important. Get the rest you need, get the relaxation, all of that. It's really, really important. And then once you do take care of yourself, on the other end of that, it's all about handling your business. Your leaders, and you're here. You were chosen. You were chosen. You got to handle your business. You are here not to play, even though you can balance some play, but you're here to work, right? You're here to do what you have to do. You know, again, engage, show yourself when it's safe. Be proactive. Don't wait for someone to tell you to do it. Just do it. Be accountable. And he's, oh, damn, I made a mistake. Oh, my apologies, right? How hard is, sometimes it ain't easy to do, I know, but think about that, you know, read your messages. I can't tell you how many times as an administrator on a campus, I've had students come to me and say, oh, I didn't know. Read your messages, because more than, and I know it's tough because you're getting messages from all over the place. I get that. But the ones that come from the campus, the ones that come from the administrators, your faculty, your staff, read those messages, because they'll help you to not use more time later if you're doing that. And do not procrastinate. Don't do it. Just get it done. And I know it's really difficult, and it can be difficult. And sometimes you do have to take a step back and just, you know, take a breather, as I said earlier. But the more you can just be engaged and do what you have to do, the better, right? The better. It's gonna help you to succeed in the end. And the other piece, and acknowledge and honor the challenges, right? That's really important. We are in the midst of a pandemic. That hasn't changed. The way we're doing business has changed a bit, but we're still in the midst of this thing. And things could shut down at any moment. We have to be cognizant of that, and we have to honor it. Right now, COVID is in charge for the most part. So we're all doing our best we can, but please, you know, honor where we are. Honor that an election is coming up. And for some people, it's very painful. And that might not be everybody's, you know, reality, but for many, it is. And so we need to be respectful and, again, acknowledge that. And you don't have to agree to be human beings to one another, right? You don't have to have conversations and make people believe what you believe. But at the end of the day, just that acknowledgement, just that empathy, just the kindness goes a long way. It really does. And a lot of times it's about seeing the similarities versus the differences. But I'm gonna tell you this, when I think about the upcoming election personally, I get heart palpitations, because I know that one way or the other, it's gonna be a tough time for somebody, you know? And so just keep that in mind. The other piece, many of you are in tremendous loss, myself included. We're mourning. We are literally collectively mourning. We're mourning deaths. We're mourning not being in class the way we think we were going to be. We're mourning, you know, loss of family members. We're mourning loss of goals, of visiting places and doing things. Keep that in mind. That plays on your spirit, you know, and it's important for you to acknowledge that. It's very important. You know, and the other challenge, technology. I'm so grateful. I've been holding my breath the whole time, hoping my Wi-Fi doesn't come out. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, again, just have to kind of roll with some of these punches, because we don't have a lot of tremendous control over it. And my thing is, what you don't have control over, sometimes you just roll with it and keep it moving, you know, just keep it moving, right? So there we have it. And most importantly, though, celebrate the wins, because there's a lot of stuff we don't maybe appreciate going on. I see you waving at me. Celebrate those wins. You are here. You made it this far. You are a leader, right? Which is amazing. And you have your own success story. I told you a little bit about mine, and you have your own. We all have our own unique stories. We all matter in that way. Our voices need to be heard. And I was so proud to hear you all, you know, declaring who you are and where you come from with your food choices, you know, with your food preferences and this and that. I love it. You know what I mean? Be your own person, be your own superhero. And then lessons learned. Let's celebrate the challenges so that we can learn from those things, grow from those things, and in turn, be resilient as a result of it and teach strength to others. Because strength is a choice, right? You could fall apart, and that's okay too. Sometimes you have to. But for the most part, resilience is something that will take you a very, very long way. You know what I mean? And that's both inside and outside of the classroom. So keep that in mind. You know what I mean? You all matter. You all are amazing people and you're leaders, right? So I look at that, 1:45 right on the dot. I know I have maybe 5 more minutes for questions, Marissa, if that's possible.
Yes,
You know, possibly a
absolutely.
discussion. I also wanted to, you know, share my email address with you all so that if anyone wants to reach out and expand more on things or learn more about SUNY SA or anything else that we do in our office, I'm happy to share that with you. I'm also, you know, a life coach, like I said, a higher ed coach. So again, if I can be a resource in any way, I'm happy to do so. But do any of you have any questions for me at this time? I'm going to stop sharing just so that I can see your faces better.
And you can also put your question in the chat, or you can unmute yourself.
Yes, please. Does that mean no one has questions, or are we writing in the chat?
I think some people are typing.
Okay, no problem.
I don't have any question, but I just wanted to say that this your speech was really inspiring.
Thank
It
you.
was helpful. It was nice to see you.
Thank you.
I hope we'll see each other a lot more in the future.
I hope so. You're very welcome. Is it Sadia?
Yes, that's Sadia.
Very lovely to meet you. I'm honored.
You too.
Thank you.
So I had a question.
Okay.
First of all, I liked your speech.
Thank you.
And I was gonna ask, how long now have you been a life coach?
Oh my, so I have been, and please don't think I'm being cheeky here, but I literally I was the kid that like parents were like, if she doesn't go, you can't go. Because I was like that old soul in the group, in my friends group, that was like giving advice from like a little kid. You know what I mean? So I have literally been a coach in some capacity since I was probably 12, 13 years old. So yeah, but officially, as far as like with education and all of that stuff, probably since like I graduated in 99, and I started working as a director of the Liberty Partnerships program at the University at Albany. And so, you know, I was not only working with our like middle and high school students, but also with the college students that worked as staff, you know, and so in some capacity, my whole life, literally. Thanks for asking the question. Is it Eon?
Aeon.
Aeon. Nice.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice. Same here.
Okay. I'll put my email in the chat. I see that.
Oh, yep. Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Any other last minute burning questions for Candy?
Yeah,
Nope.
so I do.
Okay.
There I am. Hi.
Oh, there
So
you are.
said,
Okay.
there I am. So you said trust the process, but what happens if I feel I'm not connecting with my advisor? We're just not.
That's a great question.
Eye to eye.
So okay, so you asked two things, right?
Yeah.
You're not connecting, then are there other individuals, your faculty, your staff, you know, because with all due like knowledge of what's happening right now, people are being pulled, people are wearing a million hats. So sometimes it is a little difficult to connect, and I respect that and I understand that. So I would say, you know, try to connect with who you can connect with in the moment.
The
And
switching advisors.
well, I mean, you could, if you, so because you asked two questions, so that's the first thing, right? So if you're not connecting with someone, and it doesn't necessarily just have to be your advisor, you can certainly be patient, give them some time, email, call, whatever works, right? To try to make that happen. if you're not seeing eye to eye with somebody, I'm going to say two things to you. I'm going to challenge you, if and when possible, to change your perspective. Because sometimes, and I'm going to tell you why I say that. When I was a student doing my master's in social work, I was so upset. The one area I didn't want to be in was alcohol and drug addiction. I have a lot of family members who suffered from that, and I just did not want to be there. And guess where they put me? In alcohol and drug addiction. And I was pissed, for lack of a better way to say it. And I went down to the advisor, and she and I exchanged, friendly, respectful words, but passionately. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. And she's like, listen, I'm going to need you to trust the process, and that there's something in this experience that you're going to learn from and grow from. And I'm going to tell you this, it's exactly what happened. And in my 17 years working with folk, helping them to achieve their dreams, is oftentimes the thing that you don't want to hear that you need to hear. Now, if it's a difference of this person is not responsible, if this person is not, whatever, I understand that. And yeah, maybe go ahead and shift. You don't want to be going against the grain for your experience. But if it's I don't like the advice you gave me, that might mean you might need to stay. But that's just my humble opinion on that, So you got to do what feels best for you at the end of the day.
Thanks.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you. And there's one last question.
Okay.
Candy, are there any articles, books, or podcasts you recommend related to the leadership process?
Oh, that's a great question. Oh boy, there are, I have so many books and specific to leadership, I need to think a little bit about leadership specific books. Because most of the books, because as a social work major, my thing was trauma and trauma-informed care. And so most of the resources that I kind of relate to and rely on are by Dr. Brene Brown and others in the field who are doing this work on, changing and reality. So, which is part of leadership, because you really kind of have to know who you are and be strong in who you are in order to be an effective leader, a transformative leader. But what I will do is I will think about it and I will email Marissa, and then she can share with others. I'll send a list of my favorite books, because I just got to look and see what I got. But thanks for asking that question.
Thank you. And yes, we will definitely get those resources out to you too. And we have some here and at sale. So thank you so much, Candy. It was really, like others said, it was inspiring and really helped us to think a little bit more deeply about being intentional. So
awesome. Thanks for having me today. Thank you. I appreciate you all. Do well.
Yes, thank you. And in the last few minutes, I just want to go into what to expect for the next session. And there were a couple questions about Dr. Tara's email, and we can send that out after too. Let's see. There's some really good resources in the chat if you haven't checked it out yet. Some Brene Brown books and other titles from her, and I also love her work. Also, Joyce put into the chat the link to the post-seminar evaluation, so please fill that out before our time next Friday. And speaking about next Friday, we are going to be going into knowing yourself to lead others. And Dr. Martha Aslan and I will be speaking with you, as well as some different industry leaders. And we'll be sending out the agenda for that at least a day before the session, so that you can review it and look at everyone's bios. And the link is going to stay the same. So this is the link for every single session. So you don't need anything else but that link to log on. And you'll also, like I said, you'll be getting your peer coaching circle groups, and we'll do some work with that. And I think that's pretty much everything that you need to know. Are there other questions or anything? I hope that you found the speakers engaging. I know that I did. So I'm looking forward to a great fall semester with all of you. And I am so happy and proud that you are talking with each other and connecting, and that just is really great. And we'll also keep you updated on the LinkedIn and Google Drive discussion. So thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend. It's Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye.
Thanks. Have a great one.